Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day. My name is SOFIA binti SHAHRIR, matric number B0320101110. So today, my friend and I gonna present a record attendance system for project software engineering. So, for introduction, the software project that we choose is QR code-based employee attendance, which is record attendance system. So, why we choose this project? It is because the attendance of the employee can be recorded correctly without any uncertainty. Also, to reduce the use of attendance sheets, which is time-consuming. So, this is our use cases, which is concerned to user, employee, and admin. So, user can register and log into the account. The employee can scan for attendance, admin can view attendance and generate the report. So for register function, this is our flow of event. Precondition, user need to fill out the registration field. The agreement should be signed by the user and also the check must be valid. For post condition, the user is successfully registered with the system. And we have two flow on register function, which is normal flow and exception flow. This is our sequence diagram for normal flow and exception flow. So, user will click, in normal flow, user will click on register, enter user details, which is consists name, phone number, emails, and also username and password. So, the registration page will validation the information to the server, and then the server will send the verification result, and user will click the submit button and perform, and the database will add and valid the new user and redirection to the login page, and the database will save and the register is success. For exception flow, it is same like the normal flow until the step 5, but in step 6, it will display an error. So user need to re-enter the details and perform to the server, and database will add and valid the new user redirection, and the database will save and register is success. So this is our test cases, which is consist two side, which is positive and negative. So basically, the difference is here, which is precondition, valid password, and invalid password. So this is our user interface for register. Okay, so basically there's error message, which is you must agree with privacy policy. So the user fill password that consists less than 8 characters. So the error will come out like this. And then the right one is the true step, the well step for register.
Hello everyone, I'm joining back from BITM S1G2 and with my matrix number B0320100452. So today I'm going to be explaining about the login account for my record attendance system. First of all, let's start off with the flow of events. So my use case name is login account. The actors involved in login account are the admin and the employee. Description is login. Verify the filled in field to access the system. The preconditions are number 1, users need to fill in the ID and password. Number 2, the check should be verified. The post conditions are the user can successfully access the system. Normal flow for this login account is number 1, open the application. Number 2, the application will display the login screen. Number 3, the system will ask the user to enter the ID and password. Number 4, the system will verify the user. And number 5, the login is successful. The alternative flow is users can log in using phone number. So the use case resume on step 4 of normal flow. The exceptions are users cannot press the enter button to log in into the account. So a pop-up message will appear which states unauthorized ID or password, user login failed. Then the user will enter the ID and password again, and the use case will resume on step 3 on normal flow. Another exception is if user selects forget password. So user will enter the email, the user will enter the new password, and then a pop-up message will appear which states password successfully changed, and then use case resume on step 3 of normal flow. So next, moving on is the sequence diagram. So you can see on your left hand side is the sequence diagram for the normal flow. For the normal flow, the user will enter the ID and password, and then it will verify the ID and password. From the login, it will send message to the database, and then the database will send message to the home page for the valid ID and password, and then the login page will send message to the home page, login to the system. And then on your right hand side is the alternative flow. So the first thing is the user will enter the phone number, and then from the login page to the database page, it will verify the phone number, and then from the database to the home page, it will validate the phone number, and then from the login page to the home page, it will log in to the system. So next is the sequence diagram for exception flow. So for exception flow, firstly the user will enter the ID and password, and then the login will send message to the database to verify the ID and password, and then the database will send message back to the home page. It sends a pop-up message which states invalid ID and password, and then the user will re-enter the ID and password again, and then the user will click on forget password, and then the user will enter the email, and then the login page will send message to the database to verify the email. Then the database will send message to the home page about the valid email, and then again the user will enter the new password, and then the database will send message to the home page. It sends a pop-up message which states password changement successful, and then the login page will send message to the database which will verify the ID and new password again, and then the database will send message to the home page for the valid ID and password, and lastly the login page will send message to the home page. It will log into the system. So next is the test case diagram for the login account. So firstly, for if the verify login with valid username and valid password, the test step is firstly it will navigate to the login page, and it will enter the valid username and enter the valid password, and it will click on login button. So the preconditions are valid username and valid password. So once the expected results are out, it will able to access to the system. Credentials can be entered, and credentials can be entered for the password, and the user will be logged in. Next, for verify login with valid username and invalid password, the test steps are firstly, navigate to the login page, enter the valid username, enter the invalid password, and click on the login button. So the preconditions are valid username and invalid password. So the expected results are not able to access to the system, credentials cannot be entered, credentials cannot be entered for the password, and then a message pop-up will be sent which says the email and password you entered don't match is shown. So next, thirdly, for the verify login with invalid username and valid password, so the test steps are it will navigate to the login page, enter invalid username, and it will enter valid password. Click on the login button. Preconditions are invalid username and valid password. So the expected results are not able to access to the system, credentials cannot be entered, and then a message pop-up will come out saying that the email and password you entered don't match is shown. So lastly, if we verify the login with invalid username and invalid password, the test steps are navigate to the login page, enter invalid username, enter invalid password, and click on login page. So the preconditions are invalid username and invalid password. So expected results are not able to access the system, credentials cannot be entered, credentials cannot be entered for password as well, and a message pop-up says the email and password you entered don't match is shown. So lastly, as you can see, is the user interface for the login account. Since there is two ways to enter an account through login. The first one is login using user ID. So the user have to enter in their user ID and also the password and click login to login into the system. The second alternative way is logging in through your phone number. So the user have to log in through their phone number and then enter the password and click login to enter to the system.
Assalamualaikum. My name is SHARIFAH HAFIZAH BINTI AZAHAR and my message number is 203-209-0117. I will explain about the time attendance for the employee. First, I will talk about the sort of event, which is for the employees to send their attendance using the QR code. There are two preconditions, which are the employee already registered in the system and log into the system so that they can get the QR code. As for the first condition, the employees actually scan the QR code for their entry and exit. The normal flow of the event is first the user needs to open the application, then log into the application. The third step, at the interface, employee needs to click the button so that the system can generate the QR code. Then, after get the QR code, user needs to transfer the QR code to the QR scanner and then it will record their arrival time. The second time they transfer the QR code to the QR scanner, the system will record their departure time. There is no alternative flow for this activity. As per the section, if the employee didn't receive the QR code or the QR code is invalid, the employee just needs to click the button to generate the QR code and then the system will generate the new QR code. And then the user resume on step 5 of normal flow. So for the sequence diagram, first employee needs to enter the ID and password and it will verify before the user can log into the system. The interface of homepage, employee needs to click the button so that system can generate the QR code. Then they just need to scan the QR. Then it will verify the QR code. If it's successful, it will record their time, their arrival time, and departure time to the database. For the exception flow, it is basically just the same, but for if it is invalid QR code, the system will send the error message to notify the employee, to notify the user, and then user just need to click the click button to generate new QR code, and then it will continue as usual. For the first step, there is two sets of test ID, which is to test the functionality. First positive is to verify the scanner with valid QR code. Second is negative, which is to verify scanner with invalid QR code. For the valid QR code, the test step is first, user needs to log into the system. The key condition, user needs to already register to the system. And then the expected result will be they get to see the home page. The next step is they can click the button to generate the QR code. And if they scan the QR code, the system should be restored successfully. For the negative, with invalid QR code, It is similar with the positive, but the difference is the server fails to record the time. This is the example for the employee interface. Okay, so this is the interface for the user. As user click the button to generate QR code, the system will automatically generate the QR code and they will send to the QR code now. If after user successful scan the QR code, this is the output that they should get. It will display their employee ID, name, date, and arrival time. And then the second time they scan, it will display the departure time, duration, extra, and late. It will automatically, lastly, if the user scan the invalid QR code, it will display pop-up message to notify the user. And then user needs to click the button to generate the new QR code.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I will continue to present the view attendance. This is the flow of event of view attendance. The precondition is the admin already registered in the system and admin need to log in first. So the flow of view attendance is when admin log in into the application, admin need to click the button search, and admin can search by using employee ID, employee name, employee phone number, and using the date. This is a square diagram of view attendance. As we know, the flow events is they are alternative flow. The normal flow is admin can search using by employee ID. So the alternative flow is admin can search using employee name, phone number, and date. And there are exception in the flow of event of view attendance when the admin enter the invalid employee ID, the system will pop up a message which is employee ID are not registered in the system. It's going as well as the employee name, employee phone number. So sequence diagram is a normal flow, alternative flow. So yeah, this is a sequence diagram of the view attendance. So this is a test cases using view attendance. So first is when the admin search by employee ID with a valid employee ID, it can display the employee attendance. But if admin enter invalid employee ID, it fail to display the employee attendance. It go as well same as well as the employee name, employee phone number, and the date. So this is the interface of the view attendance. The interface is have a button of view attendance and generate report. So when admin click the view attendance, it will show like this. Admin can click the button if an admin want to search employee attendance by using employee ID or name or phone number or the date. And after the admin enter the input into the box, the search box, and it will display in this way. It will display the employee ID with the name, with the date, and with the time of employee arrival or departure time, and it also display the employee phone number.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NURUL and I will explain to you how admin can generate the report. So the first thing is flow of events. To make things easier, I will show directly on the interface of the normal flow and exception flow. Okay, first thing, of course, admin need to log into the system first, and admin need to click on the generate report button. After that, admin need to enter the month and year data. Let's say admin put August and year 2022, so the system will show the input data. And if admin want to download the report, so he will need to click generate report button first and choose out report such as .type, PDF type, and text type, and need to specify where he want to save the report and click the generate now button. So as the exception flow, let's say admin input the invalid data such as month August and year 2023. So the system will show the notification that says invalid data, choose another year because August 2023 is not happened yet. That means admin cannot generate the report and download the report. So I think that's all for the flow of event, and this is the test cases. Basically, this the same, and sequence diagram. Admin need to log into the login page and click on the generate report on the home page button and select the data, specify interpreted data, request generated data. So the web API will evaluate the report and the database will return all the information, and also it will display the report on the home page so admin can see the report and also can download the report. Meanwhile, in exception flow, the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is basically the same, but let's say in step 5, admin request the wrong data and web API will evaluate the report, but database will send the error, which is the invalid data, and then to the home page. So admin need to reselect the data. And then after that, the home page will request new generated data, and then the web API will evaluate the report, and database will return the right info, and also display the report into the home page, and the report can be downloaded.
Okay, so this is our class diagram for record attendance system. There's have boundary, control and entity classes. Boundary classes have 1, 2, 3, 4 classes, which is user interface, employee interface, admin interface, and QR reader. For control class, we have user account, and for entity class, we have database and server. So basically, this is our software architecture. It start here, which is employee need to make an account to the server, and the server will check the status that is registered or not. And then the server will generate the QR code for the employee, and the employee will get the QR code. And employee need to scan the QR code to the QR reader, and the QR reader will verify the QR code to the server, and server will store the data to the database, and the database will retrieve back the data to the server, and server will retrieve attendance and report to the admin, and admin can easily view attendance and generate report. So the conclusion, to summarize, QR code-based employee attendance, which is record attendance system, is believed to save time, cost, and well as workload and reduce human error. It can be really beneficial to the user as well as admin compared to the previously existing system. So that's all from us. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.